Man, a lot to talk about. Before you guys get comfortable, hit that like button. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like some West Coast hip hop, some real good talk, some conversation, hit that subscribe button. But let's start with this, Lonzo. I wanted to start it off with a quote that I came across, and then we're going to break it down a little bit and turn it into a topic. But there was a quote that I came across on Instagram that said, quote, "When rap music was positive, they tried to ban it. Now that it's toxic, they support and push it." So before we even break that down a little bit further, what are your initial thoughts when you hear that?
Ain't nothing more true been said in a long time. I wish I had said that because they was trying to kill it. Nobody thought it was gonna live, man. Nobody thought it was gonna survive. Oh man, this ain't gonna last. It's gonna be like disco. They told me that every time I walked to my office. This rap stuff, man, it's gonna be like disco. 2 years it'll be done. Okay, and here we are today, 50 years plus, and it's still kicking stronger than ever. But it got more corporate support than ever before. And that's the trip part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I remember when Hammer, I talked about this at somebody's on a clubhouse. I remember when Hammer was the man.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing and doing this thing and dancing with Pepsi and Chicken. He had a Hammer show, cartoon on Saturday morning, Hammer pants, doll, everything. Everybody hated him. Everybody in hip hop hated him.
Mm-hmm.
He's selling out. He done sold out. He's a jigaboo. I remember that like vividly. Okay. And to see the transition that's happened over the past few years, man, y'all don't remember nothing. Y'all, you know, that's one thing about it was a movie called Pimps Up, Hoes Down. And one thing they said in that movie, that hoes have a short memory. Okay? Have a short memory. They don't remember when everything some of your biggest artists in the world are doing right now was considered selling out. It was considered selling out. And I remember talking to folks about this. As soon as you go get a record deal, you've already sold out. That was the whole purpose for getting a record deal, was to sell out. You take your product, you raise it from the streets, you cultivate it, you make it happen to the best of your ability, and hope somebody gives you a deal. That's the whole business model for the record industry. So as people get bigger and bigger in the industry, are the checks getting bigger? Most likely. Are they selling out anymore? Probably not, but it is what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah. Was Digital Underground? Because Digital Underground was one of those acts that they were amazing musicians. Anyone who knows anything about music knows they incorporate the funk. I mean, Shock G alone played several instruments. He was just a very musical guy. But you know, when they came up with that song called the Humpty Dance, were they seen as a group that sold out?
Not really. Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Because the Humpty Dance, Hump was a character. Like Sir Nose devoid of funk for hip hop. He was that kind of dude. You think with Parliament Funkadelic and the character Sir Nose devoid of funk. He was a George Clinton alter ego, and that was Humpty. That's what it was. It took a while for people to realize it was the same dude.
Yeah, took me a minute.
It took a minute to realize that was the same dude. You know, when he did that movie with was it John? No, not John Belushi.
The guy from Saturday Night Live.
Right. They did a movie together, and
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble. 1 minute he was Humpty, next minute he was himself again, and then you know, it go back and forth, and it just was it worked for him. And hip hop was so new, it hadn't got it had gotten hateful when it came to Hammer, but when it came to Humpty, nah, because that shit was funky as fuck. That shit was
Yeah. You knew A-Train at the time. Was he managing Hump and them back then?
Yeah.
He was. Did he give you any insight, or did you have to find out yourself, kind of like pro wrestling type? Oh, that's the same dude.
Oh no, it was no secret. It just people are slow. It was no secret. People are just slow. I was slow. Okay, it took me a minute. Hey, dude, look an awful lot like the same cat. But hey, man, he did a good job at playing it off.
Yeah, Derek Mallory says Shock G's brother played Humpty Hump. That Shock G was one person. He was Humpty Hump, from what I understand.
Nah. Even right now, there's a young cat called himself Young Hump. But
Yeah, I think that's his son or something like that.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's his son. I think he's
Nephew,
related to him.
Yeah,
I met him in Sacramento a couple years ago. Him and Money B still do the show together. And it's my understanding was, as long as he called himself Young Hump, Shock didn't trip.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, Shock G, newest member, collected. I was trying to see if I could see who he is related to, but yeah, that was the same person. That was a trip. Yeah, D-Cost says that's his son. I don't know. I'll look it up and we'll clarify that. But going back to censorship, Lonzo, you know, back in the day, where, you know, first of all, where do you stand in general with censorship in America? Just in general, if someone asked you that general question.
You know, I think censorship. Oh man, that's a really tricky question, because it's certain things that shouldn't be said in the general public. Okay, is that censorship? Maybe so, but I think it's a place and time for everything. I don't think people should be able to control, like comedians right now. They feel they're really being censored. They can't be funny half the time because people are waiting to cancel them because they made offense to somebody. You can't have the world walking on eggshells and especially expect us not to walk on our tippy toes, which is dumb shit. That's not even walking. That's just tippy toeing through life. But I do think that people need to be conscious of the audience in which they're speaking to. And I think that's probably one of the things, one of my biggest problems, and here I go again. That's probably one of my biggest problems. Again, I just did a presentation on Clubhouse for the N-word, and the word ain't going nowhere because the mentality ain't going nowhere. We're gonna have niggas as long as we have black folks. But the fact that they use it in such mixed company and make it seem so cool, then give everybody the desire to want to use it, that's when you have a problem. That's when you have a problem. It's certain things that shouldn't be said around kids. It's certain things I don't think should be said around women. Certain things shouldn't be said in church. It's certain damn sure things you can't say in court. So there should be some lines drawn. Is that censorship? I think it's more just being conscious of your audience and conscious of just showing respect what respect is due. You don't want to have a bunch of kids cussing each other out because their mama cuss them out, which that happens every day. Look, blue, 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 blue. But is that right? No, I don't think it's right. But some folks, that's my house, and I do what I want to in my house. So yeah, that's a very, very touchy subject. And why did you ask me that? You asked me that for a reason. I know you did.
Yeah, but you dealt with censorship in your day, back in your day. We've told